Hey everybody, and welcome to or back to my channel, My Kind of Stuff. And today is episode 1 of my series Knockout Challenge. So, this episode is kind of just a little bit of a check-in. I put out a video last month with a little series update, and this is mostly just me talking about all of the series that I have since started. Unfortunately, I've started quite a few. I've finished a couple, and I am caught up on, I think, at least one more. So let's talk about it. I think my biggest issue right now is that I started a bunch of manga and manhwa series. So, first up is Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint. There will be 10 volumes of this. There are only 5 out in English right now. I have only read book 1 so far, but I do own the other 4 in the series, so I am looking forward to continuing this. As with most of these manga and manhwa, is a lit RPG type of thing. Everyone in this world kind of gets like transferred into this fantasy game type of world. There's tons of monsters, and our main character is the only one that has read the like web series of what is happening. So he's the only one that knows really what's going on and how to survive. And it's him kind of helping other people and trying to live and also leveling up, gaining new skills. And overall, this one was a lot of fun. It is right up there with solo leveling for me, is like a top tier. And I can't wait to continue this series. All right, so up next, another one that I started but haven't gotten very far into yet is Defeating Dungeons with a Skill Board. There are 10 volumes in this. The first 8 are out in English right now. I've only read volume 1 so far. In this one, all across the world, there are these adventurers. They're going into dungeons, slaying monsters, leveling up, learning new skills, but our male main character has no skills to speak of. Um, Suddenly, a dungeon portal shows up in his garage, and he is able to go into it and start defeating monsters and leveling up. And that's kind of where this one ends. So I don't know where we're going to go from here, but it was pretty fun. I enjoyed it. Definitely not like an all time favorite, but I'm still definitely going to continue. My husband, I think, is caught up on the series right now. So he's been dying for me to get caught up so we can talk about it. So I'm going to have to get to the other 7 that are out right now really soon. Another manhwa series that I started recently was Overgeared. I read volumes 1 through 3. There will be 7, only 5 out are in English. I have the other 2 still, so I do need to read those soon. But basically, we follow this dude. He's kind of like a deadbeat. He just plays this virtual reality game and wastes all his money playing it. But now something happens to him while he is in this game and playing. He ends up leveling up and becoming this like master blacksmith, and now he's able to craft weapons, learn new skills, actually defeat monsters, and actually earn money in the game that he can then transfer to real life money to help pay off his debts and help his family. This one's really corny and cheesy. He's definitely got like a lot of like goofy, like it's because I'm overgeared kind of sayings, and it's funny. So I'm having a really good time with this. This is another like lit RPG where he's constantly leveling up, learning new skills. You kind of see that it like pops up on, well, it's kind of like a screen that pops up, but it's in his mind, but he can see it. So it's a lot of fun, very similar to solo leveling in that aspect as well. Um, And yeah, I've been enjoying it. So I just need to read the next two and I will be officially caught up. I think the sixth one, though, does come out next month. So I need to be on the lookout for that. Another manga series that I started is Dark Gathering. I read volumes 1 through 3. There are 17 volumes. Only the first 6, I believe, are out in English right now. I own 1 through 5. I still need to pick up the sixth, but Barnes and Noble didn't have it when we were there last time. But we basically follow this like college-aged boy who has had a rough go of things. He's been very isolated. He was cursed, and this curse affects his hand, so he has to go see his grandma and like have basically surgery on his hand every couple months to kind of keep the curse at bay and make it so that he's not in so much pain he can't function. He's just trying to kind of get his life back together, have a social life again, make friends, go back to school, have a normal life. Um, and he ends up signing up to be a tutor, and he meets this little cutie patootie. And this poor thing has had a rough go of things. She is living with her cousin, who is this cutie, and her parents died tragically in a car accident, and now she also almost died with them, and now she can see dead people. So she is on the hunt to find her dead mother so she can kind of say goodbye. Um, and also our male main character, because he was cursed, can also see dead people. So it's kind of him helping her. And the cousin is really goofy and she's super into like paranormal investigating and stuff. So she's always like pushing them to go do things. But he's really scared because he's already been cursed and he doesn't want them to get hurt in the process because ghosts come after him. And it's just been a whole lot of fun. So I'm excited to continue this series as well. I also started watching the show for this one, but I'm only like 2 episodes in, so I don't know how I feel about it yet because I haven't gotten that far, but I enjoyed what I watched so far. Next up, I read volumes 1 through 6 of my isekai life. I gained a second class character and became the strongest sage in the world. That name is a mouthful, but this one is okay. It's definitely not a favorite of mine. There are 25 volumes. The first 15 are out in English so far. I read 1 through 6, obviously. Our character in here, this is another lit RPG, so he keeps leveling up, learning new skills, getting new abilities. But he is a sage and he can control creatures and monsters. So he has an army of little slimes that help him fight. It's really cute. He also has another companion called Proud Wolf, who is this big, ginormous wolf who is supposed to be a badass, but he is so scared of everything. So it's just really kind of funny and cute. And he meets a lot of neat side characters along the way because he keeps going to new towns, helping them out, doing little quests. All of the towns have guilds and a little quest board where he goes and picks and chooses what quests he wants to go on. He's definitely way overpowered, so that's like my biggest thing with it is he's too overpowered that it kind of takes away from some of the fun of it. He doesn't struggle at all. He just like la-di-das his way through everything. But the slimes are adorable, and overall I'm having a great time with it. And the last manhwa we have to talk about, which I've already talked about a ton on this channel, but these are so heavy, y'all. Solo Leveling Volume 1 through 10. I've read all of these. I read this entire series pretty much in one go. Like, I just binged through all of this. This is by far my favorite lit RPG type of manhwa. But I've talked about this before, so I will just kind of go over it briefly. But basically, our male main character is an E rank hunter, so he is the lowest rank hunter. He is notoriously known as the worst hunter around. He's always getting hurt. But he's basically doing this to get money for his family because his dad is gone, his mom is in the hospital, and his sister needs money for school. So he signs up for this dungeon dive that he has no business going on. He ends up basically sacrificing himself in here to save everybody else, and in doing so dies and reawakens as like this next level being, and now he is able to level up, which he wasn't able to do before. As an E rank hunter, you could never like go above your rank. But since he reawakened, he's able to. So now as he fights and fights bigger things and harder things, he keeps leveling up and leveling up. He becomes a necromancer, so he's able to control a lot of the things he kills, and it's just a whole lot of fun. And I absolutely love the series. I watched the season 1 of the show. I watched the movie that just came out, and season 2 of the show just started last week. So I'm excited to watch that as well. All right. I think that wraps up all of the manga and manhwa. So now let's talk about the other things that I have kind of worked on throughout the last month. First up is the Part of Your World series by Abby Jimenez. I did officially finish this. I had already read books 1 and 2, and I just finished up book 3 this week. I ended up absolutely loving it. I've gave the first 2 books in the series 5 stars. I think I gave the last one 4.5, if I remember correctly. But either way, I love Abby Jimenez's writing. This was just such a fun journey, and I was so late to this train, so I'm glad I finally got to it and that I was able to wrap up this series. And I will probably start some more from her because these are the only Abby Jimenez books I've read so far, but I had such a great time with them that I need to read her backlist. I also finished up a comic series this month, and that is Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. It's kind of like a Dexter type of story. Our main character is a bear. However, this whole town is all animals. It's really like cutesy. The art is really pretty and pastel. So it definitely like doesn't fit the vibe of the story being told. But our main character is a serial unaliver. She is kind of laying low right now because there is someone else in town killing people, and she's afraid she's going to get caught because that person is sloppy. So it's kind of her trying to figure out who is doing this and why, and trying to take care of them before she gets in trouble for what they're doing. And I really enjoyed this. Definitely a really short series. Like each comic took me maybe 10-15 minutes to read, and there are 6 of them in total. So not a huge time investment, but I did finish it finally. Because I read book 1 a long time ago. So it finally just decided to binge it all in one sitting and really enjoyed it. So another one finished off the list. Another series that I made some progress in but have not finished yet is the Harry Potter series. I just read book 4, Goblet of Fire. Really enjoy it. I don't need to talk about the series. Y'all know what it is. But I've slowly been working my way through it, and yeah, this one was a lot of fun. This is officially where the books kind of start to get chunky, so definitely going to be a little more effort to finish the last couple, but I'm still excited to continue it. All right, another series that I have finished is actually I don't even know what the series is called. Is it just what I don't know. Dungeons and Drama was the first one, and this one is Dating and Dragons. This one just came out this month. Well, I guess technically it came out December 31st, so I'm counting it as a January release. But I absolutely ate this up. Loved it. Easy 5 stars. I think I liked it more than the first one, and I really enjoyed the first one. Um, but super cute little YA romance, very clean. There's definitely not any spice to these at all. I know with YA romance. It can kind of go either way, where it's either like light on the spice or there's just simply none. The grandma character in this book was hilarious. And of course, I love the Dungeons and Dragons aspect in these books. So, really happy that I was able to finish this one. Another series that I made some progress on is the Chestnut Springs series. I had read books 1 and 2 a couple months ago. So, this month I read book 3, which was Powerless, and absolutely loved it. I ate this story up. I love a small town friends to lovers romance, and this was just so, so cute. Very heartwarming. Both of our main characters had kind of like a tragic past, so getting to see their found family in each other and each other's like friend groups and family was just so sweet and heartwarming, and I cannot wait to continue this series. I think I have 2 more books to go. I believe there's 5 books total, so I've read 1 through 3. Another series that I made some progress in was the Inheritance Game. I read book 4, which was The Brothers Hawthorne. I gave this one 3 stars and unfortunately wasn't my favorite, but it did set up the Grandest Game, which is a whole like separate spin-off series. I believe there's 2 books in it now. So I will eventually have to get into that, but there is also a 5th book in this, which is just a bind up of the novellas. I think it's called like Stories Untold or Untold. I don't know, something like that. That I still need to get and read. We follow the brothers more so in this one than we do Avery, where the first 3 books were mostly from Avery's perspective, which I guess makes sense considering the title. But I just thought they were a little less interesting than she was, but still overall glad I read it, and this is a fantastic YA mystery series. Another series that I made some progress in was Rebel Blue Ranch. So I previously had read Done and Dusted, but I just read Swift and Saddled over the new year. I actually read it while we were doing a live stream over on Jenny from the Haphazard Book Nooks channel. And I liked this one so much. It was definitely better than book 1. And there's still book 3, which I was gifted for Christmas, so I still need to read that one. And then book 4 is also coming out this year, so still need to get caught up, but at least I've made some progress. Another new series that I started this month was Mickey 7 by Edward Ashton. This is a sci-fi comedy. There's going to be a movie coming out in a couple months called Mickey 17, which follows essentially this story, I believe. And Mickey is basically he's signed up to go on this space expedition to be an expendable. So they make like a carbon copy of him, and every time he dies on a mission that they send him on, they just print a new one. And accidentally something happens, and there end up being 2 copies of him, and things kind of spiral from there. Definitely a lot of humor in here. Some of the science really went over my head, though, I feel like. I ended up giving this one 4 stars. It had the right amount of humor and sci-fi elements. I think what brought it down for me was just some of it was like overly scientific and it didn't need to be. But overall, still had a really great time with it, and I can't wait to read the 2nd book. I also made some progress in the Twisted series by Anna Huang. It's a 4-book series. I just read book 3 this week. I didn't like book 1. I loved book 2, and I didn't really love this book. The plot in here was kind of stupid. The male main character was absolutely fantastic. Like, Anna Huang writes the sweetest male main characters ever. They always go above and beyond to show their love for their lady. So I really appreciate that. However, the plot in this one was just not it. So at least we made some progress on this series. We got 1 more book to read, so hopefully I can wrap this series up soon as well. And we'll see what I think of the last book. Another series that I did manage to finish this month was Rack and Ruin by Otto Schaefer. I read A Safe Place to Die, which was book 2. It is only a duet, so that was the end of it. It is a zombie apocalypse kind of book. Book 2 felt a lot more like The Walking Dead. Like, book 1 set up the zombie apocalypse and started it, but now book 2, they are in it. And they're trying to find shelter and safety and medicine and food and find other survivors. And overall, I gave it 4 stars. I liked it a little less than book 1, but it was still a whole lot of fun. If you love a zombie apocalypse type of story, I definitely recommend the Rack and Ruin series. And the very last series that I have to talk about this episode is Twisted Cross Ranch, which is by Kayla Rain and Meg Ann. I just read book 3. I finished it today, actually, which is Deadly Debt. This is Mafia Cowboys at their finest. This is just a fun, spicy, good time. The audiobooks are top tier. Like, you have to get the audiobooks of these. Don't bother reading it. Just listen to it and enjoy. It's a full cast. The accents are amazing. All the top tier male audiobook narrators are in it. And yeah, Mafia Cowboys. Like, how weird and unique, but it was such a good time. It's just a 3-book series. They're all fairly short, so pretty quick to get through, and I really enjoyed my time with it. All right, guys, this wraps up episode 1 of Series Knockout. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Let me know down in the comments below how you think I should continue this series. At first, I was thinking maybe like I do a spinner wheel or a TBR jar or something and like pull a series and just binge it. But I'm not normally a series binger, so I don't know if that's the best way to go. But let me know down in the comments below if you guys have any ideas how you would like to see me continue this. Because I definitely want to make continuing series a priority in 2025. If you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Make sure all your notifications are on so you don't miss any upcoming content, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.